Hey, Chesno, almost said good morning. I almost said good morning here on the show here. This is Encounters, late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. I'm running a little bit late here, about 33 minutes late. Normally on at 11 p.m. Lavola, good to see you, Sandy Bernstein. Welcome to the show. See Japan, welcome. Good greetings, Chesno. Gary Haas, good to see you from Iowa. Everybody LS, Georgia 490.0. Salamore, good to have you. Tom Boone. Todd Boone, I should say. Connoisseur, good to see you. Everybody coming in and Love It Up Reiki. Hey, good to see you, Love It Up Reiki. Heather Savage, Dale Yarnell, Thomas Hayes, I think it is. Hey, Winnie, good to see you, Winnie. Hello, Love It Up. Good to have you with us. Blessings to you. Atlantis 85. Dennis Holland, 86 something. The names come in so quickly. Kristen, I think it is Kristen. Hey, Todd Boone, thank you for the hat. We appreciate it. Mountain Vibe Healing. I like that. Mountain Vibe Healing is a good name. People get very creative. Rich something. Love It Up Reiki. Thank you for the likes. Tracy, welcome to the show. Caroline, welcome. You're watching the late night edition. Odell, welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show talked about on all the social media right here on TikTok. That's right, Encounters. If you're not here, you're missing a lot of stuff. Winnie, thank you for the heart. We're just getting amped up here. Hey, Scott. Laura 3, good to see you, Scott. Melissa Evans, welcome. We try to welcome everybody. Lovely. Good to have you with us. We try to, hey, Nikki. Everyone got to see. Johnny, good to see you, brother. Rect 67, good to have you with us. Always. Denise, welcome. 969, welcome to the show. Everyone coming in here, please let people know about Encounters. So if you're new here, hey, Kat Young. Veronica, welcome. Robert Holiday, good to see you. Conduct, hey, Conduct. Amanda is joining us. Todd Boone likes the show. Nigus Menon joined us. I'm seeing all these new names coming in here. Wills, hey, nice to see you again as well. Kimberly Alike. Rover 862. A lot of good people coming in here. Things are getting amped up here. Please share and like to the people that you feel should be here on Encounters. Nikki, thank you for the roses. One thing about this show is you never know what's going to happen. And we have Rotten Dead Fish. That's a name that you'll never forget. Becky, welcome to the show. Of course, we have a glass of apple cider. The commander always has, almost all the time, has a glass of apple cider. And we're not even started yet. We're at 56 people. And we'll wait till we get about 100 people in here. Less than 50 to go. No one's missed anything yet. So if you thought you missed the first 30 minutes of the show, you haven't missed anything. We started a little bit late today, or tonight. Assure me, hey, good to see you. Jimmy Z. SML Lake, good to see you, SML Lake. Randy Piper, Pipin, Thomas F. Psychic Kimmy, hey, Psychic Kimmy. Commander's getting all amped up here. We'll see where things go tonight. It's Fallon, actually. Okay, Fallon. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's Fallon. I think Fallon. Or Phelan. Maybe I'm pronouncing it Phelan. Okay. Victor C. We don't get into that whole thing on TikTok with the global thing, the flat thing, the square thing. Just want to put it this way. All the planetary systems are oval or round. We don't get into anything with that whole argument on TikTok. And not on Encounters anyway. Encounters is a show for people interested in the whole subject of cosmic realities, ships from other worlds, extraterrestrial intelligence, visitations, crop circles, fairies, all that stuff. That's what we get into here. Hey, Julie, good to see you. Welcome. So if you're new to the show, you're going to have a blast here on Encounters. We've been on Encounters here on the TikTok side for over a year. And we also are the host for new people of WESU's NPR Pacific Radio. I do an Ash Tarkaman radio show Sunday mornings, 11:30 to 1 here in the U.S. Doing that for 21 years. Hey, Sanja Ario. Sanja, I should say. So we're heavily involved in a lot of things here on the show. We work in cosmic Christ consciousness. I'm also the man from Mars. You might call that a starseed. I came from Mars here to do mission work. I've been a contactee since the 60s. I'm just like an open cosmic book on the show here. So if you're here, you're going to definitely learn something. Denise says, exactly, Commander. Your show is spontaneous, interesting, a highlight of our day. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Denise. Well, without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm fascinated with crop circles. Oh, very good, Kelly. And we do have people that come on here talking about it. Carrie 79, welcome. Caribou 7777. I think it's Steven, user 659. Hello, Carrie. Jose, welcome to the show. Cody Shrugs, welcome to the show, Cody. Deborah. For all our relatives, I like that name. Bill Jones, welcome to our show, Encounters. Flower Power, good to have you with us. Flower Power, back to you. Ancient Ancestors, welcome. Yes, you are. Hey, James, good to see you with us, brother. James is another cool person on TikTok. Very tuned in on the cosmic levels. Kristen, welcome to the show. Lights came out of his hands and I began to levitate. Now, I'm curious about that comment. Lights came out of whose hands and you began to levitate? Whose hands had light come out? Yes, you are. Thank you. I'm very curious now about that statement. Kristen, lights came out of whose hands? I'm waiting for the answer on that. I'm very curious. Figure when I was dreaming. Oh, when you were dreaming. That's interesting. Hey, Cody Shrugs, thank you for the superpower. Now I got superpower in my hands. Thank you. That's interesting. Should we be afraid of ETs? No, you shouldn't be afraid of anything. You know, one of the things I teach here and also my workshops for many years is you shouldn't be afraid of anything. You shouldn't even be afraid of your planetary government on Earth. To speaking of being afraid, the last thing you need to do is be afraid of anything. What you should do, hey Monique, it's good to learn about the star people, the space people that are of light. There are different levels of extraterrestrial intelligence. So should you be afraid of ETs? No. No fear. You know, what are you going to be afraid of? Why would you even want to be afraid of ETs? No one should be afraid of anything. But you should know the difference between the different levels of extraterrestrial intelligence, and that's something I can talk about. There are higher vibrational ETs, which are the Christed beings of light. Those are star people from many different planetary worlds. And there are lower vibrational ETs, and you shouldn't be afraid of those people either, or beings. They're just in a lower vibrational level. You know, so you really just get to learn the different things about the intergalactic civilizations that are beyond Earth, and there are really positive ones, and there are ones that aren't so good. But you shouldn't have any fear. There's no reason to fear anything. Fear gets you nowhere pretty quick. Okay, now, Deadly Auntie Julie says, our dirty is Mihino separate from God. I don't know what that means. Hey, Sloan, good to have you with us. Good evening. Devlin Summers, welcome to the show. We want to get to about 100,000 likes tonight. We did that last night. Hey, Adun 0099, welcome to the show. Welcome, Devin. Good to have you with us. If you found Encounters, we're glad to have you with us. This is a red one. Good to have you with us, too. Our show is on mostly at nights at 11. We started late tonight. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch everybody's comments. Miss Liberty, Kimberly Lacey, Melvin Hicks, welcome to the show. So if you're just new to the show, hey Sassaloon Mama, hey Friends with Fairies. This is a show that gets into the things that most nitty-gritty UFO talk shows never talk about. All those really traditional UFO nuts and bolts shows, right? We don't care. On this show, you'll find out that the commander doesn't care what anybody thinks. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that I don't care what people say. I just don't care what they think. Because if one cares what people think, then you end up having to do things based on what people think versus on what you're here to do, right? So commander has compassion, love and light, totally all there. What I don't do is I don't follow any websites. You'll find that out pretty quick. I don't read any cards. I don't have any crystal balls. I don't have any pendulums telling me what the answers are. All the answers I get come direct. I don't channel anything. Everything I know comes direct for me. That's the way to do it. Need to ask you a question. Go right ahead. And if I don't know the answer, I will always tell people, if I don't know the answer to the question, I will tell you I don't know the answer. Good evening, Zilla. Good to have you with us here. Gabe2316, welcome to the show. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate that. Flying Phoenix. That's a good name. Hey, Flying Phoenix. Welcome to Encounters. Hey, Mercury Man. Welcome. Hey, Vision Life Something. Welcome to the show. I think it's Half Town. I try to acknowledge all the different names here. If I don't catch your name, Sunset Fairy, welcome. We have a Sunset Fairy in here. I believe Sunset Fairy is into fairies. Francisco Gonzalez, welcome. Bizarre situation. It is a bizarre situation sometimes. What a name. El Matador? There you go. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not going to spend all night reading names because that can be a thing here. Hey, Grace. If I keep reading people's names all night, I'm going to be like reading names all night. Now, that might be interesting to some people, but not to everybody. Just realize, Ashley and everybody, that I know you're all here. If I don't mention your name, still know that I love you on Encounters. So, yeah. And I think we're going to bring Skip to Grace on. We are very spontaneous here. You never know who's going to be brought on here. We're going to start with Skip to Grace in here on the planet Earth in Connecticut, if she wishes to come on here as a guest on the show. She's very famous. I didn't want to, let people know you're in Hollywood, but no, she's very famous. And she's doing some great things within the realms. And my TikTok's working correctly tonight, so I can actually see her.
Hello.
Good, Grace.
Hi. How are you?
Good. My TikTok's working well, so when I bring you on, I don't just hear your voice. I can actually see a screen.
Oh, why were you having issues?
Yeah, there were technical problems. Like I'd have to bring people down and bring them back up because I didn't see them. I heard them.
Oh.
But I can see you. You're fine.
Well, I know that, now, was that happening just last night or was that today?
It might have been last night. And then today, I thought there was something wrong with my Facebook. Facebook had a major down out when I was at work. I'm like, what happened to my Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook was glitching, and so was Instagram.
Yeah, so I started thinking, what's going on here with the social media platforms?
Yeah, I don't know if that's related to something we spoke about a couple weeks back, or if that's just was random, because it didn't last very long.
No, it was very short. I think it was just a technical thing. I think Zuckerberg turned off the computer.
Yeah, that's very possible.
He had the controls. He had the button there. Like there's a button to the nuclear bomb. He had the button to Facebook.
Well,
my name is Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm going to turn off my Facebook so you cannot communicate.
Oh my God, he controls an awful lot, that one.
He really does, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, who would have ever thought that a college student? But that's how it always starts.
Yeah, he was a college student. I can't believe it that he runs a big empire like that.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, and I think we got to talk about the infamous Elon Musk, who
Oh
is
yeah, what's
very
he doing now?
similar. Went to
Yeah.
MIT and started he started PayPal,
Oh
and that's
yeah.
how he began his journey.
Oh
So
yeah.
they all
He
have such interesting stories.
and I don't
You
trust Elon
dig
Musk.
down deep. What's
No,
that?
I've told people I don't trust Elon Musk. I've never trusted him. People ask me that question on the show over the past year. I do not trust him with a. I don't care. There's
I
just something
feel like
about him.
I feel like there's something that he's trying to tell us that he's trying, without telling us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I
I
feel
thought
about it.
I still haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can decode it if you'd like. I mean, I think that a lot of that's going on in a lot of different
Yeah.
areas, especially these higher ups. I feel that people who have a lot of like clout in or physical presence in on
Hmm.
the internet and in the world, that they just they're trying to they try to give us clues, and I guess the
Mm-hmm.
ultimate, the privileged, or the few who are in
Right.
the circles have
Yeah.
the opportunity to actually get exactly the full picture. We're just
Yeah.
guessing on the outside,
We're
which is,
just guessing. We're the outsiders.
yeah, exactly. So, well, I mean, we're our own right, in our own right. We have our
Yeah.
own clout. So,
We really do. You're right about that. We don't realize we do just because we don't have the money, and although whatever they have, we
mhm.
know things. We know a lot of things too that they probably don't think we know that we know.
It's so true. I mean, I definitely feel like we've got our own, uh, little corner of the world that we're rocking and rolling over here.
Yeah.
Hi, Zilla. How
Yeah.
are you?
And we are, and speaking of rock and rolling, man, things are like crazy on the planet. The energy's going crazy.
Yeah.
We're all feeling it, and it affects everybody in different ways. I know I've been amped up like crazy the last few weeks,
How
and
about
whether there's a solar storm or whatever, have you been feeling that way?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been feeling super emotional, highs and lows. And then I also, I think what's really interesting is the weather patterns. I mean, look at California with 7 feet of snow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's so it's the reality of like our we were having this conversation last night with hi Carrie, how are you? We were having this conversation last night with Yaya on Loretta Yaya on
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
we were kind of hanging out on my live last night. I was painting, and we were talking about like we're talking about everyone seems to be talking, and the buzz is that we're going into the fifth, D. We're going to 5D, right?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we're going into 5D. I feel like we're already in 5D.
Oh, I think we are there.
I think that we have been there for a long time. And
Yeah.
and I think that it's when people are ready, they'll they'll not, I don't want to use the term wake up, because I don't feel it's like it's waking up to it. I think it's just coming to, oh, I like that Mona Lisa. That's awesome.
I'm playing around with things here.
The
I like
Mona
this one
Lisa
too.
has a spaceship in
What's
her
going on there, man?
background. Have you ever noticed the Mona Lisa has a spaceship in the background?
I know that's actually a true story. What
Yeah.
did I just do here? I got to
Mhm.
get my other thing back. I just put myself off screen. Then no, go. Continue on. I'm listening to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was saying, yeah, there's a lot of hidden, well, Michelangelo hid, and a lot of others, Leonardo da Vinci, hid a lot of their revelations in their art. So if you look and study art for long enough, you'll notice that those clues have been there for many years.
Mm.
And they're, I think that they knew something, and they were, again, cluing us off, giving us a clue. And yeah, somebody's asking you to put Mona Lisa back up.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. If I get some gifts right now, TikTok gifts, I'll put Mona Lisa up for a few more minutes based on donations to showing how much you love the show. So if you do that, I will switch to Mona Lisa. Matter of fact,
Oh my
I
God,
will I,
it's so
I will
cool.
do the Mona Lisa.
See, nice
Um,
to
I'll
see
t-
would be nice right now.
let me see. I've got all kinds of pictures here. Let me see where we're going. Did I bring them all up? I don't have them up now, but I did have them up before. I'm going to go up here,
Yeah, Lord.
and I will.
Many
Here's,
paintings
here's
of
a
Madonna.
here's a picture of me. Here's me.
Well, Mona Lisa was not the Madonna, but I mean, Madonna, you really don't see a very few. Felipe would put UFOs. Is that you, Commander?
That's the CmdrAleon. I was in a crop circle in upstate New York
Look
in
at
the
you,
1990s.
looking good. I like the long hair.
Yeah, I had long hair. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. It's an awesome
I,
photo.
on the spaceship, I'm told I have long hair too.
Uh,
And I'm
Okay.
holding a copper thing. It had a crystals on it. We used it for trying to figure out the energy lines in the crop circle.
Oh,
That's
fabulous.
me, folks. That's CmdrAleon wearing a hat in upstate New York.
Yeah, you got a vibe going. And now you're in upstate New York. Where were you? What area?
We're near the Herkimer Diamond Mines. We're not too far from there, but there's a lot of farmland around. This is near farmland, and this big crop circle appeared, and people said they saw a huge. When you look at it from the air, it looks like a big mothership on the ground. The way it was created.
Oh, very cool. How did that
Yeah.
feel to you? Like what kind of energy were you getting off it? Were you getting positive?
Oh, oh yeah. And not only that, we went out there at night, and the energy in the clouds and the clear sky were swirling. Like everything started swirling in a circle, and we were like, "Wow, this is just crazy." I was starting to feel like we were getting a buzz or something, and we're out there in the pickup truck, with two other people, and we're looking up, and everything just like is really the energy shifted. It was really amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I
So
never showed anybody that picture. That's yeah,
yeah,
yep.
that's an excellent photo of you. Excellent photo. You're looking
Oh,
great
thank
there.
you. Oh, thank you. I hope I
Um,
look as good now as I did then.
I like it. I think that I'm digging the long hair. I really
You
like
digging
it.
along here?
Well, I
Yeah, I
feel
was a
like
pretty.
it's trending now again anyway, especially for
You
the
had
men.
long hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That long
Here's my.
bob. That
He
long.
has Ashtar. He doesn't have long hair. This is Ashtar.
Yeah.
Tuella, who's no longer alive, who wrote the books of the Ashtar. This is a rendition of a artist drawing of what he looked like, with his little helmet on and the little light thing coming out.
Now, are
Um,
these books in print anywhere? Can you find these?
they're out of print. You can
Yeah.
get them online, but they're out of print. You can get
Okay.
them though.
So maybe you can look at like EB, what is it?
Ebooks,
Yeah, I'm thinking EB books or maybe ABE books or
AB books. Yeah, they're good.
yeah, something like that.
This and she wrote. Tuella wrote this book too. This is Project World Evaluation. This is another. This one here is a great book. This book came out many years ago. I have all her books when they were published, and the books were transmissions from the Ashtar Command. These are some of the best transmissions. This is before anything with the internet existed. All these are direct. She used to communicate with Ashtar constantly for years.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So was she one of the first people to come forward with Ashtar information?
yeah. She was. Well, also not just her. My good friend Ashtar Athena, who does not have TikTok. I try to keep getting her on here, but she's doesn't. She's not interested. But
Oh.
she was also one of the contactees, and she's
Mhm.
been always in contact with Ashtar. She still is. She's in her
Oh,
she's in her
so,
70s now.
okay. Yeah, because it's a shame that she doesn't want to go on because it would be great to have her, impart some of her knowledge upon everyone.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
she's a world traveler. She met with people like Sai Baba when he was back in the 70s in
Wow.
India. She saw George Harrison in line when she was in line to see Sai Baba. George Harrison was in the same place in India, in Bangalore, and she has a picture of herself, and she sees George Harrison in line waiting to see Sai Baba.
Very cool. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
totally into that, and he
and here's
incorporated
another
that into
picture.
his music
This
too.
is a
Oh
this is a
wow.
picture, and if you can see this picture, this was taken when I this is was taken when I was on a spaceship. This is me in a spaceship suit.
Okay,
You can
so
see
I
my
have to
face.
ask you, who is that to the left of you? Who is that?
Does anybody know?
To the left of you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who I think it is, but I want to see what other people think first. It's interesting.
I'm going to keep that up here for a while. Um, yeah. See, there's me. So, some people saying it looks like April.
I was just going to say that.
You know what? And I didn't even plan that out. I never even thought about it, but you're right. It does look like April, doesn't it?
Oh, no coincidences.
Oh, this is funny. So when we go on this ship, I'm going to be wearing this kind of a suit.
And is that Chenzo in the back behind you?
I don't know who the back person is.
That looks
You
like a
know,
male.
it does. A couple of years ago, I found this thing where I can put my head on a picture. So I found this really cool picture of galactic loving people, and I changed it and had my head on the spacesuit.
I've seen this circulating, this photo before.
Oh, with me in it?
Yeah, no, not with you, but I've seen this photo circulating around before. I've been around a while too, so this kind of stuff has come across my path before. I think that
Uh-huh.
I've seen that book of the first book you were talking about. I think not the one with the
Oh, oh, Ashtar the Tribute?
yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
it.
that book. That
That
book is a must read. Everyone should get that book if you can find it.
I
It
wish we
should be
could find.
circulated still.
I wish we
It's
could.
out of print.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get the exact title from you and then see if I can get it, find it. I found a book a friend of mine gave me actually, or mentioned to me. It was a book written about the species of the extraterrestrials that we're aware of now. And to be honest with you, I felt that it was a little bit off-putting. I didn't really like the book that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel that they were represented very well.
Mm,
And there are not a lot of books out there that represent, what we know
mm,
as far as what we know right now. And a lot of what we know is hidden, and secretive, kept secret.
yeah, absolutely.
But remember, just recently we were talking about how something was going to be released that was going to be like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Did you see the news that came out about the healing medic
Oh,
chambers?
the med beds, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of
There
that?
are we have med beds. I bet we've had med beds for years and they're finally releasing them.
Could you imagine this? I think that they had them probably in the 50s.
Oh yeah, I think they were covered up. I
I
wonder why they held back on the med beds.
I'm like, what
Well,
is
I mean,
it's definitely time.
yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, the pharmaceutical companies are going out of business with the med beds. People will be healed. They don't have to take any drugs.
I'm surprised that, I mean, who do you know who released that? Was it a government released it, or was it a private industry?
I don't know, but somebody released it. I saw pictures of it.
More on the med beds, please. Yeah. I mean, one day at a time wants to know if you know anything more about the med beds.
I saw a whole video thing on it, and I have to find it. I'm going to do some research
I don't know
because
what
I'm
the
very interested.
technology is. I just know that the oxygen chambers are prevalent to reversing our aging.
Yeah.
Super
That-
prevalent.
I think we've had med beds way longer than we never were told we had med beds. We know that on the spaceships they have med beds. On the galactic ships of light they have med beds.
Yeah.
Now the fact that we have med beds, I think we've been concealing this technology for years. Even before I was born.
Yeah.
What do you
Could you
think?
imagine? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the med beds.
Patrick says my wife wants to open a med bed spa. That's smart. I used to go to a store in my area that had oxygen, where you could sit. It was called an oxygen bar, and
Yeah, I've
you
heard of
could,
those.
yeah, you could actually hook up to oxygen and hang out there, and they were fabulous.
Yeah,
I could totally get into, a med bed.
I want
Absolutely.
to go into a med bed now. I want to do that. I think the med beds can heal our cellular structure and everything. That's what they do on the
Oh, it would be
spaceships.
fabulous, especially like on a day when it's super stormy and you can feel it
Yeah.
in your aching bones, and that would just be fabulous to be able to, get up on roller skates again. You know,
Kit Kat says med beds should be free to all Americans. Med beds should be free to the whole planet.
I agree with you, Kit Kat. It should. I don't know if this is Tesla related. I don't know where this. They did release articles about it, but it was vague. You
Yeah, it
know,
was very vague.
I feel like I need more data.
And they didn't say where the med beds were that they showed the video on. They didn't say where around the planet it was or where these med beds were, you know. But yeah, I mean, if they're med beds, they shouldn't be charging anybody money. This should be all free.
I'm like, yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. I would imagine that they're expensive. Uh, I don't know much about them, but I think that for on a larger scale and having them available. I mean, look what we went through with the respiratory. The I forget what they're called during COVID when we were having trouble.
Oh,
I forget what there was.
you
Those
got me. I'm not sure what that is.
the units that the breathing, they were
Oh,
helping people breathe.
the breathing. They had these big machines they took out to breathe, help people breathe.
Yeah, what are they called again? I forget what they're
They were.
called.
I know they were like real. They were on wheels. They were kind of big. I don't know what they were.
Yeah, they're
Ventilators.
ventilator. There you go. You got it. Yeah, so imagine like what they were. I mean, I know a ventilator is excruciatingly expensive.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was like big deal getting a ventilator for these poor people. And then of course they were saying that once you get a ventilator on someone, it does major damage to our
Mm.
system. I think anything that goes into the body that's foreign creates, havoc and whatnot. But that's my opinion.
Mm.
I don't know. That's sort of one of my downloads that I've received. So I got to talk to you a little bit about my experience the other night with my at the location at the Dragon's Egg.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, when I was over there. Now you saw my picture, right, with the orb.
Yeah, I really did. It was
I,
phenomenal.
I couldn't believe that. So now the sun was on the horizon and setting. So the
Yeah.
orb was above the tree line or almost to the top of the tree line. And I'm not sure if I can get it up here. Let me see if I can get it up here.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second. Go to my green screen and show you guys because there it is. Not sure if this will work. But you see on the left-hand corner,
Yeah.
it's the orb.
Up the orb. I see the orb.
And I enlarged it, and it was literally like a Pac-Man. It reminded me of a Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And okay, so when you look right directly behind me on the horizon, you can see, if you enlarge the photo, you can see the sun is setting down. Let me see if I can, right
On
about
the other
there.
side.
Right, it's actually right here.
Okay.
The
To
sun
the
was
right. To the
right down
yeah.
here because it was just about setting when I was leaving. It was just
So the
starting.
sun was down below, and the orb was in above where the trees are.
Yeah, because this was the horizon, like the line where at least where I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I was near a wooded area, and then it started to become a little bit sloping. And
Yeah.
so the further back, now I'm talking behind me, this went way back into, distant, way
Yeah.
far back, like probably, a couple miles. So
Hmm.
the sun was setting right here, And then this orb, and I could sense the presence of the energy. I knew something was with me when I got there.
Yeah,
I
you
knew,
already knew it.
yeah, I knew
Well,
it.
you are also somewhat psychic and sensitive too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been like that.
I mean, I know you are.
Yeah, I've been like that since I was a kid. And I can tell immediately when, I have a great barometer for things, and I can
Mm-hmm.
tell
Mm-hmm.
immediately when something's happening. Or
Mm.
I feel like I have this, how they barometers or detectors go like yes or no?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sort of like how it is for me.
Wow.
And so I don't know if that was related to the time I got electrocuted when I was a kid or not, because I know we talked about that.
Hmm. Yeah, we did. I remember that.
So I got electrocuted when I was around 5 years old. And after that, I was like, whoosh, I could see
Yeah.
dimensions. I could
Yeah.
see,
Something got activated in your consciousness from the electricity. It
yeah,
did
it was
something.
very,
Stimulated
very
something.
interesting. This was the other day. I was at the CE5. Somebody's asking in the comment, did I get a visit lately? This was
Hmm.
a orb that showed up. Now, orbs, I have discussed orbs with a few different people in the profession who deal with like energy, like work in
Yeah.
paranormal, humanology, angelology. They work in the field of, UFOs. And some people will say that orbs are just pure energy,
Hmm.
that it's just pure energy, and it gets built up and then it just shows up. But I
Hmm.
feel like this particular orb had yeah, I I grabbed my knitting needles and sparked my powers. Yeah.
Who said that?
Well, I was
A
totally
flower power.
bewitched when I was a kid because I felt like I was, she could have been really in my relation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could have just done, and I could have made something happen. I feel like we can do that anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We can make anything, we can move mountains if we want to.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the photo. So, anyway, discussing the energy. So, everything is vibration and energy, as we know. And I was very excited when I was visiting this location because I anticipate the C5 and I anticipated joy. I remember it's a very joyful place for me to visit because I've done different events there with others. And
Hmm.
my kids were like used to run and frolic in the fields back there, and they would play inside the dragon's egg on the swing because there's a giant swing that's hung from the ceiling,
Oh, that's cool.
and you can swing inside the building. So my kids they just loved it in there. It's just a place where you can come and let your hair down, but there's heavy energy in that woods, and it's positive. It's such a cool, in like energetic
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
where,
It sounds like what Grace is describing, and this I can't wait to get there for the April C5 event. That I think, as you say, the energies are positive. I can feel that from you when you say those words. It just really rings true, and I think we're going to have a beautiful experience there. I really do.
so someone's asking about, has anyone seen the neon green rectangle with neon green dots in the middle, either
Where?
3 or 4 dots? Where have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's OMEIUC. I don't know how to pronounce that. Omiak?
Omni
Omiak? Omiuk?
Omniac
Something like that.
Omniac Youth.
The
Oh yeah,
little
it's yeah. Okay. Omniac, San Diego.
Somebody's telling us about the little grays in the comments too. Oh my God, little grays.
There's so
Listen,
many little stories here.
I know that people are like laying it out here.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's so many stories here. I don't know where I can't catch them all.
I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, and a
All
lot of you,
down the strip in Las Vegas, they have these. I'm not really sure what that means.
I'm
Lord,
not sure either.
interesting.
Devin says the Enigma app is great for comparing sighting pictures all over the world. The Enigma app.
Oh,
Interesting. I've never heard of that app. It's called the Enigma app.
and are there photos on that app already? Like that you can like compare to other photos because that would be fun. Now I've
Yeah,
done, my kids and I have gone to. I see my kids. They're young women now. They're women.
yeah,
We've gone up into Boston and have done paranormal investigation in some of the graveyards up there, and we've gotten hundreds of orbs
yeah.
that we've shot. But that's
That's a different kind of thing, though,
just
isn't it?
the vibe. It's just like, to me, I don't feel like those are spirit beings or anything. I just feel there's a lot of dynamic energy. There's a extreme amount of emanations that are built up from all the people that visit.
Yeah,
I don't really think that there's anybody around in those sites. Although when you walk the
yeah,
streets of Boston, especially at nighttime, it always feels like there's somebody with you, no matter
yeah.
where you go, which is always interesting. And Boston definitely has a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah. Well, considering New England, the Revolutionary War period, a lot of that stuff. Yeah,
Everything, everything from Connecticut up is just, and I know New York as well is that way. New York, that people don't like to talk about what's happening in New York too with energies, but New York has a lot of, because we have so much history and there was such an upheaval. But anyway, getting back to the orb, when I was talking to my friends about the orbs in the paranormal community, they were saying that orbs are primarily energy. And what happens is when you talk to these professionals about this phenomenon, they're limited to their knowledge of, everyone has a different opinion. And
right.
depending on their experience and what they have experienced. Now, I've come into communication with or not communication, but I've experienced an orb in my home.
In your home.
Not in this home that I live in now. This was a home that I lived in like maybe 20
Oh,
years.
okay.
And I think that it was also a very similar phenomenon where the actual land was disrupted, and there was something uh, crossing the energy fields in the land.
Yeah,
And this orb shows up. It was purple
purple.
and shows up in my bedroom.
What did you feel about that?
And Rich actually saw it as well. And I said, "Do you see that?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's an orb." And it was giant, like the size of a basketball.
Hmm.
And I got up and I followed it outside. It was at the end of my bed, and it moved. And this was like maybe 10 o'clock at night, 11
Yeah,
o'clock at night. And it moved across the side of the bed, and then it went out the doorway. And then I got really upset because I thought it was going to go towards my kids' rooms, and
yeah.
instead it went out into the living room, and then it just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, so I saw it with my, like just naked eye.
Right.
And I've never
That's amazing.
before. I've never seen that before ever, and I've never seen that since. And I didn't like the fact that it was leaving my space and trying
Yeah.
to, it was going to travel into the kids' rooms, and I thought, no, no way, no, ain't no way that is happening.
Yeah. No.
Actually called on to my guardian Archangel Michael and asked for Michael to come in and protect us. But I felt like from what I had witnessed, it was transparent, but it was also, there was a slight shadowy, not shadowy, but like a you could see through it. You could see through
Right.
it, but you could also see the substance of the energy. The energy had manifested itself into a orb, and that's what I think this was.
Yeah.
Very,
So how big was that orb, the one in the sky?
it was crazy. Is that night I did not see that orb. I didn't see it with my naked eye. I only saw that when I looked at the photo, and
Really? I thought
you thought
so.
I could feel.
Yeah, I thought you.
I could feel the present. There was a presence, but I didn't know that there was an orb. Maybe I wasn't looking
Mhm.
because I was looking at the camera. I was live on TikTok when I took this photo.
And that was before it got dark out, right? Late afternoon.
Yeah, it was like about dusk, which was
Hmm.
probably about 5, 6 o'clock, almost 7,
Interesting. Yeah.
and maybe around 6:30. So I almost feel like, for me personally, my sightings have been
Hmm.
around that time.
Wow.
So anything like that is shows up, but I wasn't paying attention. And then somebody else said that there was another orb somewhere else in the photo, but I did not see it. I didn't see it, maybe right here in the middle.
Well, you captured that orb, which is pretty amazing. Watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. Grace is our guest here in the U.S. and a well-known actress, and she's talking about the orb that is above her in the picture that she didn't see with her physical eyes that she is sharing with us now.
People are saying that they've had a lot of experiences with orbs as well.
Uh,
Like 4 or 5 people.
Thomas says, yeah, Thomas saying golden orbs around me. I wonder what golden orbs are about.
I think
And
golden orbs are related to the Christ energy because when I did the interview with Jason McLeod, he talked about bringing in the golden light of the Christ energy.
hmm,
And the purple flame of Saint Germain has always been a very high vibrational prayer that I've used, and that I loved. And the of course, the white light of the Christed energy too, but we would do the white light orb and then we would do the golden orb around it.
yeah, that's
So
interesting.
I did not feel threatened when I saw that orb, and to tell you
Yeah,
honestly, I felt extremely peaceful and happy the
yeah.
night this thing that came was present. But I just feel like it's an indicator that it's a hot spot, and that that it's potential that we will we could get lucky and we could have something
Well,
uh
I
positive.
can tell you, I can say, Grace, I can tell you, there's something major that's going to happen that night when we go there to Ledgerd, and I get the strongest feeling that everyone's going to see either a flotilla of spaceships, or what you would call UFOs, or we're going to see one or two major craft that are going to be large enough for us to see that are going to be pretty radiant in color. They're going to be noticeable to all of us in the group when we go out there. Just to give you a heads up, that's what I'm getting.
Now, I think that what's happening is that, like I was saying earlier, I don't think that we're waiting any longer to be in the fifth dimension. I feel like we have now graduated from 3D to fourth and fifth and even
Oh
sixth.
yeah, we've graduated. We just don't real. If do we realize how much we've graduated? If you don't feel the energy affecting your body, that's graduation. That's the energy from higher vibrational patterns. What you're talking about, Grace, is very true. If you feel yourself like totally like disoriented from the particular way you've been living on Earth, look at the way you are now, and look how you feel. Like your whole system is changing, your whole body is changing. Not that you're physically becoming fat or a big head or something. Your whole energy is changing, right? Do you feel that?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I've
Yeah.
felt that already. Like it's been more than it. Like it's been for me. It's been a gradual climb,
Hmm.
but I feel in the last year a tremendous. Like I just can't tolerate menial BS any longer.
Right, right,
It's like
right. I don't think anybody. Yeah,
another,
I got you there. Yep, you
and
can't do it.
so just to put it like very, very, very clear and very simply, it doesn't have to be complicated either. It can be, you know, ascension does not have to be complicated.
No,
Uh,
it doesn't.
So, when you get into a lot of jargon and it starts to go over your head and then you think pull back because it's not gonna, if it's not helping you and it's not making you feel good, then it's not gonna really be effective. So pull back.
Right.
And, that's sort of my advice to people who are like on the journey as well. But, to me, it should be, I've always known this, I've always felt this in my heart too, that it
Mm.
has to be simple. It has to be simplex. It
Yeah.
can't be complicated. If it's complicated, then then you want to run.
And the other thing is, and we have James in here. So James, welcome to the show, James. If you're there, James.
Hi, yes, I'm new
Oh,
here.
oh, you're new.
I'm new here. I've been watching your show from Florida. I'm from Florida, and I've been watching, and I was wondering, are y'all trying to say that the ETs from the other planets and the Nephilim and unearth Mr. the man from Mars, are you
Hmm.
for real? Are you saying that the 4D, 3D and the 5D? I'm trying to put my head around it, but I just do not know.
Well, you know why you can't do it, because you're trying to put your head around it. Unhangle your head, then you'll be centered and you'll be able to
Well,
put your head around it.
I'm been stuck in this rabbit hole for a long, long time. And let me tell you what, I heard the man from Mars say that the Ashtar Command was sending a flotilla of of UFOs to come
Yes.
and take him to meet his pappy.
The flotilla word I've not used before, James. That's a very, very high level word, flotilla. Can anybody say the word an armada or a
I
flotilla? A flotilla
I live in Tampa. We have a flotilla come through of pirate ships every year. It's called
of pirate
Gasparilla.
ships. Well, this is going to be a spaceship flotilla above the ground in the sky, a flotilla.
So
Anyway, welcome, James.
Commander said that he's gonna get a meet and greet with
meet
the
and greet.
ETs, and
Yep, there'll
he's
be a
gonna
meet and greet.
offer them some apple cider, and
You know
then
what?
he's
I
gonna
think I'm
go
going
to
to
his
bring a
bait
half a
ship.
gallon of apple cider if I go on that ship. I wonder if they'll drink it.
I
What do
already
you think,
told
Grace?
you.
Grace, you think they'll drink the
Look
apple
at you
cider if I bring it?
laughing.
I don't know if they'll drink it. They'll drink apple cider. I'm not really. I have no clue.
I have no clue either. But they eat pearls, which are a small watermelon, and I am definitely wanting to get seeds of that
Hey, y'all,
pearl
come over here
watermelon.
and listen to this man from Mars over here. The man from Mars is on the TikTok right now.
I'm talking on the TikTok.
Yeah,
You
I'm the
know,
TikToker. I'm the
I'm a
TikTok.
TikToker.
Yep.
I don't even believe
We're
in
famous.
TikToking time.
TikTok famous.
TikTok's famous. You know, I
Yeah.
don't let my fame get to my head either. I know I've been going viral lately, but I feel pretty good. I don't feel like I feel pretty normal all these years.
So,
I'm still the same person.
so Commander, in your books that you have there that you were showing us
Yeah,
earlier,
yep.
does the Ashtar Command talk about food they eat in that book at all?
I think in some of the books they do. I have a whole library of her
Or
books. I think I have 2/3 of her books.
so
I'll
are
have
they?
to go in my library.
So are they us in the future? Is that what they are?
They don't say they're us in the future. They are them, and we are us, and we are going to be like them
Okay.
soon, because we are. The books talk about that all of them come from the Christed levels of light. What Tallulah always said was the Ashtar Command are guardians of the light. What Ashtar Athena would teach to me is that the Ashtar Command, we are the guardians of the light, meaning that they're the guardians to protect people within the light. And so that's what that means. I mean, it's very straightforward. And when I learned everything from Athena about the command as I was learning from her at her workshops back in the 90s, early 90s and late 80s, I learned so much. And that's where I found my connection within the Ashtar command. I went into my own meditations. When Ashtar asked me, when I met Ashtar through one of her, she was telepathically communicating with Athena. She would do these workshops. She came out to New York State to well, it wasn't Brewster. It was all the way out in Poughkeepsie, New York, I think, or near Poughkeepsie. I don't remember where it was now. Anyway, I got stuck in a condo with a bunch of people that I never met before, and an artist named Richard Schulman. He's a new age musician. He's produced many, many CDs. And he was, back then, he was just, I don't know how much he was well known. He's well known now, of course. But he had all these different CDs. He'd play the instruments, and she was there doing the workshop. And then Ashtar says to me, he says, Commander. I said, what do you mean, Commander? I'm not a commander. I was doing a radio show, reggae radio show in Connecticut of roots music. But I had been interested in going to this workshop. And so I went. I got stuck there overnight. And all the trees outside the condo, and there was a fog in the sky with like a neon blue flashing light all over the sky. And the trees looked neon blue. And I said, what's going on here, man? I can't go home. And I got stuck. And then the next morning, Ashtar speaks. Now, Athena doesn't channel. Ashtar
Wait a
speaks.
second, Commander. Hold on. Wait a second. We're interviewing you here. Hold on. When the light was flashed, so why did you get stuck? Was it storming?
Yeah, well, I thought it was storming. It was just really bizarre. The energy shifted. It was really foggy. I said, there's no way I'm driving in this, because I had to go back to Connecticut, and it'd be a drive to get where I was going to go.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got stuck, and then we had all these experiences happen, and then then I realized that everything looks surreal. Like I'm looking at all the other condos next that are all connected, and it just all the branches were like neon blue. It was just really weird. And I'm like, the next morning, I never told this story really on here. The next morning, there's about 15 of us. We all stayed overnight. And then Ashtar says to me, oh, that commander, he's going to be doing mission work. I said, no, I just do a reggae show. I'm just here to record. I had a cassette tape. They didn't have CDs or any of this stuff. So I was recording the thing. I was going to play it on my radio show. And I said, oh, I'm not a commander. So then Ashtar says to me, he says, what's your name? I said, I used my real name. He says, what's your name? He says, that's not your name. What's your name? And I say, well, let me think. So then I said, my real name is Aleon. Now, I just like was sitting there. He like says to me, he wants to know my name. I said, Aleon. So I never knew my name was Aleon. I never even thought about Aleon as my name. He says, he's Commander Aleon. So what he did is he drew my memory out that off planet, my name was Aleon, but I never remembered that name until I was at that thing getting stuck overnight. And he asked me that question. This is all true stories.
Super cool little tidbit of information. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
I never told my story about this. So
what year was that?
Grace.
Ah,
Grace.
This is like in the early 90s.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grace, did you have a glass of wine tonight?
No.
Oh.
What? But no, I really
heard a wine glass tap.
Oh no, I just put tea on.
Oh.
tea, okay. So anyway,
hitting the burner. I just put it on.
So
I just got back. I was up in Boston today.
I was up in Boston. But that's how I got my name. My name was I didn't, I thought I was given a name, but I wasn't given a name. I actually presented my name. They brought out the memory of my name before I came to Earth, which was Aleon. So then Ashtar says to me, you are Commander Aleon. So when Commander Ashtar would come through Athena, not channeled, he would integrate with her body. You can't explain this in a way that one would understand it, because it was beyond Earth-based understanding. There was an integration, telepathic communication. And when Ashtar spoke, he would have a certain mannerism with. We had her on 3 AM radio stations in Connecticut back then. I had her on a rock station. I had her on an AM. I mean, I was like, when she would come, we did conclaves. We had about 50 or 60 people from all over the world, and we put together these gatherings in Connecticut. And we had people from Norway, people from South America, and we did Ashtar conclaves. It was a gathering of the Ashtar Command from people all over the world, and she did presentations, and Ashtar would speak, and her information was Ashtar's information was always direct. There wasn't 10,000 Ashtars on Facebook. There wasn't any Facebook. She was the real deal, and we love her. She's like I said, I wish she was on here. She'd be a great person to speak for you to learn stuff, folks, because she comes from Venus.
Yeah. So I love the fact that you guys found each other, even though this was before cell phones, before the
Before cell phones.
communication that exists today. But what's so interesting about all this too, and you know how you mentioned drawing out your memory?
Yeah.
Because I knew about the Ashtar Command, and I don't know really how I knew about it. I just knew about it.
Yeah.
And, it's not exactly the kind of thing that you have a conversation with at the dining room table.
Right. You know.
Family.
Hey, Bobby.
Like, oh, hey, Grandma. What do you know about the Ashtar Command? So
hey, Grandma.
So the thing is, and come on, I always get the name wrong. You're
Kadarmanka.
Kadarmanka. I have seen that image of Kadarmanka before. And I can't remember where I saw it, and it was a long, long time ago. Like way back.
Yeah.
And so it was being presented in my life before. And it's like I'm having like a revelation now, because I feel like I'm having a drawn out memory.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. And whatever that means, I don't know. I just found that to be interesting.
Well, you're being triggered. Your memory's being triggered. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Let's think of Kadarmanka of the Ashtar Command.
I have a book. Called Star Wars. This woman in the state of Washington, I never told this story on my show. She had all these out of print books, and I traded her for this one big book called Star Wars. It was written with communications from the Ashtar Command. You can't find this book anymore. It's priceless. And I have to pull it out. It's got so much information, and I'll have to read some of the things in this book one night on my show. I'll have to read some Ashtar Command things in this book. This book is going to blow your mind. It's called Star Wars, and it's information presented by the Ashtar Command before we had any internet or anything.
Hold on a second, Commander.
With you to the CE5.
I was just going to say, bring it to the CE5, and so we can get some pictures and stuff. Grace can take some pictures
out of it during the CE5. We'll have
it's mostly words. So I don't have any pictures. I haven't looked at it. I can do some storytelling with that book. Yeah, I can bring it.
That would be wonderful, because this, I think we should start the event early.
It brings the energy.
Yeah, I can definitely read some stories from the Ashtar Command.
And I think that we should start earlier so that we can use the facility, to its fullest extent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did not go into the field.
Hey, Wendy, thank you.
Because I was like, all right, if I go into the field, like it was, the field is a little bit far from the main building. So that night when we go, we can make a decision on whether or not we want to be in the field.
Y'all better go to the field. Wait, what do you mean make the decision? Unless it's snowing or raining, your butts better be out in that dang field.
Well,
and you know what? James is going to be there to coach us.
There are two fields. There's one in the front of the building that would be appropriate as well.
Yeah.
But that has.
We'll be in the field. We'll be
And
in
the
the field.
field is on the other side of the studio. It's a little bit of a hike, so it might be hard for people. It's
Yeah, I
almost
don't
like
want to have to.
it's a little lumpy out there because it's
Oh,
all
forgot. I don't
yeah,
want lumpy.
yeah, it's slightly you're it's
Man, he said, no, we're not doing lumpy.
you know
Commander
how,
does not do
Rich
lumpy.
goes to me, would you drive through mud? I'm like, yeah, I drove through mud to get there. So it's not completely out of like crazy
Yeah.
where you're gonna be bumping and jumping
Will
everywhere.
the field be big enough for a spaceship to land in the field if we do have successful
It's
contact?
huge. It's a huge
Oh, good.
field. Yeah, and it's
I think we could have a landing of a ship.
but the field that is in front of the egg is also very large as well.
Oh, good.
And it's
Well,
right outside the facility, which could be nice too. So we could do either one. We could go to the crop field
well, we
or
should have the ship. I mean, the ship. We should have the property closer to the facility, so if the ship lands, they can come in and sit down and relax.
well, not only that, but
Oh.
if you go if something lands in that field, we'll all be beeline to it. So we'll be running to
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. We'll be there. We'll be
So
there.
I'll have my flashlight and I'll be like hauling out over there
All
because
right. So what we're talking for people that are listening to this, we're actually talking about a big event in Ledyard, Connecticut, where we're going to be going out and doing a C5. And what does C5 defined as? Contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, and we're going to follow all the protocol. We're going to be doing some really beautiful things at Punja, which Grace is learning. So we're going to really be. How many people here have been in touch with Grace about going that want to go? I think if you do show up and go, it's a beautiful area. I've never been in that area, but I've been to Ledyard many times, and like I was telling Grace, I believe we're going to have some tremendous contact happening, whether it's just visual or whether possibly one of these little ships land in the field.
Commander,
Yeah.
are you bringing a sleeping bag and staying at the Dragon's Egg?
Yeah, I'm bringing a sleeping bag, yeah.
Heck yeah, that's so cool.
And I'm bringing my night vision equipment too. So if there's any cloaked ships, I have military grade
You
third.
did get the night vision equipment?
No, I have my other night vision. We're still raising money for more, but we only have one night vision. And my other friend, who's not on here, him and his wife have military grade third generation night vision. So we'll have our own equipment with us. If anybody else coming has night vision equipment, that's third generation. Please bring it with you.
Do you have a power bank for your phone, like an Anchor, like
What do you mean?
something that you can, like a mobile power bank to plug your
Oh
phone
yeah, I do
in
have
to
I do
charge
have a
it?
mobile power bank. Yeah, I have one of those.
Okay, so make sure you bring your mobile power bank because we're gonna want to see the slumber party, the CE5
And
slumber
Nicolette,
party live.
Nicolette's coming. She's in Eastern Connecticut. Nicolette, hello. She's got military grade night vision equipment too,
Okay,
so she'll bring
cool.
them.
so definitely bring those Nicolette.
Is
And not only
is
that,
Nicolette spending the night too?
you
Because
guys,
Grace, there's a bunch of room, right?
there is a
Nicolette,
lot of
contact Grace.
you can contact the Dragon's Egg. So it's I gave you guys the address, but I gotta just make sure because I've off the top of my head I had a pretty long day. I can't remember the name of it's Dragon's Egg. Hold on, what did I say? Dragon's Egg. Let me get my tablet. Let me just make sure I get you the correct.
She's got to get it together. She's been drinking too much coffee.
I had
Oh, we gotta look at Commander over here with the jokes.
I
This guy,
drove out to.
he's got a lot of nerve, apple
Boston and
cider.
back. Yeah. So I was celebrating my kid's birthday. So I say my kid, but she's a grown woman now. And anyway, so it was a long day. And then I was up.
No, we know you had a long day. You definitely were taking a trip somewhere, and it's a long day to be in Boston too. You know.
Yeah, and Boston, and
That's a crazy city.
It's super foggy out tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Really crappy. It was rough driving.
Oh, this weather's crazy.
Very foggy out here, James, all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florida doesn't. I mean, we get fog, but I mean, it's far and few in between.
Yeah,
Well, that's because you're
I don't ever
different.
remember seeing fog when I was in Florida.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, down in Naples, they hardly ever get fog, but it gets a
We
little
we
colder up
Well,
here.
we got the New England fog. Hopefully, the dates of the C5s are going to. I'm hoping that the weather is really good. I'm really praying and hoping that on both dates we have great weather for everybody. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but I can only hope for the best that we have really perfectly good weather.
All right, so this is the contact information for the dragon's egg. So this way you guys, so you can go to, I'm going to type it into the chat, dragon, so DRAGON
Yeah.
with an S, dragons, like a few dragons, and egg studio.
Is Kit Kat going to the
Hey,
CE5?
Kit Kat's on Long Island. Hey, Kit Kat can take the ferry over from New London Ferry. Hey, Kit Kat, are you going?
I was just seeing that she's in Long
Kit
Island.
Kat, you should come up to Connecticut.
Yeah, you could come to Orient and come.
Oh,
She's coming. Good, Kit Kat. Kit Kat's coming, Grace.
Yeah, so you can go to the Dragon's Egg. I just typed it in the chat. Go to the website and you can contact Myra and make arrangements for your facilities. And she's a lovely person and she's so easy and mellow to deal with. I just love her so much. She's such a great person. And I know the Dragon's Egg.
Grace, would you happen to know the prices of the little bunk cabins they have?
No, I don't know anything about
Yeah, I
that,
don't know
but I
that.
can find out more about it.
Well,
Yeah.
you better get on top of it.
Yeah, I want to say, okay, you guys are gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. Overnight's not part of a formal residency at
Yeah.
$25.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh.
it's one of those. Yeah,
Okay, that's cheap.
it's
The
a
other thing
cabin
is,
type deal.
off the property, there's abandoned motels that you can just squat in. And just,
You better not put friends with fairies in no abandoned hotel, Commander.
I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. She knows that. She's right here listening. Matter of fact.
Oh shit, that's funny. Where are you staying? Where are you staying, April? Oh, Commander, he's so cheap. He's got me in that.
But when you go to the abandoned motel on the main route before you get to the casino, there's a light like blinking, like a neon light saying we're still open.
I'm done. That's funny as hell.
I do have a sense of humor, folks. I could have been a contender. No, I'm just kidding you.
Yeah, I could see that. So I'm trying to find, I don't know, with the love of God, where her email is. Okay, so her email, and I'm going to type it into the chat. The number, guys, if you want to call.
We're going to put her in the hotel. I hope she don't have any paranormal activity.
Oh boy, James is lusted. I should have kept my mouth closed.
James, are you having wine?
Yeah, James, what's up with you, man?
Are you having wine?
I'm just picturing friends and family.
Oh no, he's got the picture going there.
Tim is having a meltdown.
He's having a real meltdown.
Okay, so
guys, go ahead. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, in all seriousness, the email address for the Dragon's Egg is, okay, where the heck did it go? It's in my, hold on, sorry guys, I'm a little lagging tonight. Apologize.
That's okay.
Apologize for the lag.
And also, people that are going to be, staying overnight, make sure you bring a good sleeping bag too, because there's a loft inside the Dragon's Egg. And so bring a sleeping bag with you too. Bring bring, people can bring stuff like water, right? They can bring spring water and other things with them.
Yeah. And they have a little fridge and they have a
Hmm.
microwave and stuff and they have a shower in there and whatnot. It's not it's not, believe me, it's really, really low key in there. It's
Oh,
not,
good.
but it's very, listen, it's a place if you want to lay your head down. Uh,
Yeah.
so Myra's email address is mybeasts, BEASTS, at AOL.com. So I'm going to put that in the chat.
We'll put that in the chat for those who want to attend.
Make a note of this because if you're interested and you do want to participate, you can check with Myra. Just tell her you're part of my Skywatch group.
Yeah,
And
that's
she'll know
important.
exactly what you're talking about because it's booked and it's in the calendar. You'll see it in the calendar. If you don't remember the dates, it'll be in the calendar on the Dragon's Egg anyway. So all of that is very clear. There's and then you can read all about the Dragon's Egg on the website too. So it's mybeasts at AOL.com.
Yeah, and that's really important. So, between now, there's plenty of time. That's why we're promoting the C5s. The C5 happening in Durham, Connecticut, there is going to not be in any kind of indoor facility. So it's not going to be like it'll be those who come to it. We're going to try to get some of our people that are going to be there to put people up. If there's I don't know who's going to be there, but we want to make sure, make sure if we don't have any accommodations, there is off of Interstate 91 in Wallingford towards the Durham line, there is a Marriott. There's a couple hotels, Fairfield Inn, Marriott, or whatever. So there are hotel accommodations right off the highway to stay overnight if you need to stay for one night. We're going to try to facilitate on the 13th, possibly getting, maybe some of the people coming to put people up if possible. I know I don't have any room because I have a very small place, but, again, if you're coming to also the event in Durham, you need to just, but most importantly, the big event is going to be the Ledger one. We're having a kind of a small event that I'll make a little video promotion of, but we're not. The biggest event will be the one in Ledger, and that's the one where you need to get information sent to that email that Grace was talking about. And I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think there's going to be a lot of beautiful things happening, and I hope for those who can come in the northeastern region will be there. When we do these things, they're very fascinating. You can have a C5 and things can happen but I think because of the energy of our planet amping up so much, we are up in a much higher frequency. And I know everyone's feeling it. I know that Grace is feeling it. I am. I'm sure many of you watching the show are feeling it. We are amped up in such an energy right now. It
is so awesome.
It
really is.
And it's what's so cool about it is that each experience brings something new to the table. And so your gathering promotes, a energy that builds.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're now with Dr. Greer, when he goes out with his team for about 5 days, 6 days, and they will, camp out and stay in that location for very long periods of time.
And
then
Zilla, as you're talking, I mean, interrupt you even. Zilla says, we will have direct contact, and I was told I don't have a choice but to come.
Well,
that's interesting.
Man. He better get that Dragon's Egg info. I think that would, because, that way he can stay over because he's amazing.
Yeah, Zilla, your best bet is to go to the one on the 20th because there'll be a place to stay.
Look at the comments and the comment. I just typed into the comments the information.
I'm pretty sure if they Google Dragon's Egg, they're not going to have a hard time finding it.
No, not at all. Go to dragonseggstudio.org.
Yeah. Go to. I'm not telling you which event to go to, but you really should go to the 20th because there'll be a place to to be overnight, and there's a loft, and you'll be able to find out more information about those possible huts or whatever they are that they have on the property.
They're basically located inside the main building, and they're loft spaces.
Oh, loft spaces. Okay.
They're individual loft spaces, and they do have beds, but they're on they're on the wood floor. But
Okay.
they are semi-private. It's not like you're gonna have a hotel room. But I've
Right.
I saw a team come in of 25 people from all over the country come in, and they stayed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. See, yeah, Zilla, do that. Get focused more on the 20th, only because there'll be a place, because you're only a long way from Maine. There'll be a place to stay.
Yeah, and it's really off, it's off kind of into the woods, you're not like completely isolated, but because there is civilization nearby, but you're a couple miles out into the farmlands, and you're heading towards Meshuggah Pequot territory. So the tribal nation is right there up the street. And so
Yeah.
and that could very well be my orb, what my orb experience was about.
Yeah.
It may have been related to that. It's very potential.
I think so. I think the UFO in your picture was like the confirmation, right?
Thank you for the roses. Thank you.
I agree.
Something, or at least a sign that we're
it's a sign.
on the right track.
It's definitely a sign, Grace. Absolutely. When you said the picture, it's a sign that something major is going to happen.
It totally is a sign. I mean, it's just like, okay, so calm down. We were getting all kind of revved up, and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But and I what happens is we got caught up in the energy of everything.
Yeah.
The excitement and the energy. So that being in the presence of that area and that field,
Thank you, Kit-Kat.
and then of course knowing what we're about to do.
Yeah.
Makes for energy.
Yeah.
Everything.
Thank you.
Vibration. So we were really, I was really communing. Not only was I bringing the energy, but the energy was there as well.
Oh yeah, see, you're feeling the energy before. And D Money says, where are you located? They're bringing glow sticks to the event.
D Money said that his uncle lives in Connecticut, and he's going to try to go visit him and get to the CE5.
Oh, good.
Awesome. So now I'm going to be bringing coffee, and I'm going to be bringing beverages. So I'll have.
Hey, wait a second. Hold on a second. I gotta pause everybody in the chat for all our relatives. I noticed that they're putting in 44K. Oh, the likes. Man, okay, for a second, I thought somebody was in the chat monitoring like Schumann resonance or something like that during the live, because I was going to do a test and see if we could amp up the energy, because I am really feeling great energy, and I don't know, I didn't get on the live until I popped on, but I don't know.
I didn't come on here until 11:30. I was 30 minutes late. Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know if Commander said it, but me and him had an awesome chat on the phone today, and when I got off the phone, and even before that, I just felt this high vibration, like everything was gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be good, and we don't have to do anything to please anybody. We just gotta be ourselves and do our thing and have a great positive show here, and
that's what we're doing.
And just have fun, and that's it. And it was just there's a lot of good vibrations. I don't know if everybody else is feeling it, but I was at a little bit of a low point, but right now I'm on a high. I'm on a rocket ship zooming through.
And so, speaking of which, we have 46.2. Let's get to 100,000. We have 153 people. Do the math. If everybody gets involved and intergalactically presses that button where the tap button is, what you do is you tap the screen. If you don't know how to do this and you're new to TikTok, you tap the screen with your finger, tap it real quick, and we'll get up to 100,000. So everybody tap the screen. at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody tap the screen, tap the screen.
Tap the screen, tap the screen.
For
Everybody
Commander.
on Encounters. We want you to show Encounters that you love the show, and getting 100,000 likes will
Wait,
show
how
me
long
that.
are you planning on staying on if you're trying to get 100,000 likes?
Well, I'm planning to do a 24-hour show.
Well, then we better get somebody up here. Anybody in the chat?
I'm just kidding. I'm not doing a 24-hour show.
Share a UFO story.
Yeah. Well, no, we will.
So, guys, I just put up behind me the information. Okay.
There's the information. Look at the picture at Grace's screen. You're watching Encounters. This is all the information in terms of getting in touch with the Dragon's Egg regarding the 20th of April, 2024. It's going to be an overnight event. So, make sure you plan to come if you're coming from other states. This is going to be a major, major event here in the Northeast. And you're not going to miss it.
Screenshot of that if you can't get to a pen or paper right now. If you're relaxing or whatever you're doing, just take a screenshot of it and then you can enlarge it and get the information. I think it's clear though. The email is clear and the address is clear. But the proprietor, her name is Myra, Myra, and you can just email her and tell her that you're interested in my Skywatch event. And, it took a little bit of talking her into it, but, it didn't take much, but she just was not so hot about the time. And I said, no, obviously she didn't have anything going on and she just was moved to, say, yeah, sure, no problem.
Now, isn't that amazing that she, there's nothing going on and you hit her at the right time? It's like synergy of energy was right there.
Yeah. And the egg has been sort of suffering because of COVID. They closed for a while. They weren't really functioning. And now they've just reopened in the last year. And I, because it was really, it was placed on my heart to just call them and see if this facility was available because it is so perfect.
Yeah.
Because I've been racking my brain for about a year now trying to figure out what would be a efficient situation for us so that we are, because somebody has to use the restroom, they'll have to leave, and that's what happens if you don't have a facility, or you can go pee in it by a tree, but that's, a lot of people are uncomfortable doing such a thing. So, this way, if it is inclement weather, we can do the C5 inside.
And if we do it inside, I get the feeling that the egg will turn into a spaceship.
It looks like a spaceship.
Well, that's what I mean. I think it will turn into one.
It looks like a spaceship. It does. It actually looks like even the inside of it reminds me of a large mothership.
Yeah,
and,
see?
I think it should be called the mothership, actually.
How perfect is that we're going into a building that looks like a ship. We're doing a C5 where we're going to be together. And with all the people coming together, with all the powerful energy of love to our space brothers and sisters, how can we not have a ship land in the field next to the building? Something's gonna happen. Something beautiful is gonna happen. We're all gonna be there to see it. We're gonna broadcast. We're gonna be on our TikTok live. We're all gonna see it. It's gonna be phenomenal, Grace. It really will be.
So Zilla is saying AOL site, and he's laughing, and I'm like,
yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but remember, not only with the Dragon's Egg, but with Commander as well. Commander, don't you have either an AOL address or an old? Isn't your Venmo an old AOL?
I have a AOL address. You mean for emailing me? You mean in terms of emailing me, correct?
Is it AOL?
No, I have a Venmo account on TikTok where you can donate money to support what I'm doing. If you go to my Cash App on Venmo, my main page, you'll see the Venmo link to donate, for that. So I encourage that. I appreciate all the TikTok gifts because I usually get the TikTok gifts a lot, but I never mention my Cash App too much, but I do have a Cash App.
I will say this, the Dragon's Egg Zilla is the dragonseggstudio.org. and that's their website. This is just the general information and the email from Myra, but they, they do accept. I mean, I'm going to be paying for the use of the facility. It's not a lot of money; it's minimal. But I will say that I will be accepting donations if people would like to donate and to the cause of paying for that night, for the facility use. Because it's a blessing. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It could be $10. It could be $5. It could be whatever you can give or whatever you can do for that night. Like if you want to bring noshes or snacks or something, popcorn, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm providing.
Commander's bringing his grill. He's gonna set up shop.
Really?
I'm going to be bringing tea and coffee and water.
Yeah.
So, this way we'll have that.
Zilla's wondering how far it is from Uncasville.
It isn't far at all.
Okay.
Uncasville is maybe another 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's just a hop, skip, and a bunny hole, rabbit hole away.
Uncasville is Mohegan territory, and Ledger is Meshutucket Pequot.
That's right. You're right about that. They're not far from each other.
No, not at all. And they were rivals for so many years, for 1600s. Yeah. It's a long, long, long history. And there's a lot of sacred sites around here. Really amazing pieces of property around here that a lot of energy.
Wow. Thank you, John, for that. So we're getting,
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say we're at 53.8. We have 154 people in here. Let's amp it up here. Everybody tap the screen to get to 100,000 before 1:30.
Yeah, get that topic going. We need Julie to be tapping. Where are you?
We need to get a collective tap. Go ahead.
I wanted to go back to this story you were telling earlier, right? About the blue sky and the fog.
Oh yeah, the blue sky, yeah.
And them calling
neon blue.
And them telling you that you are the commander, and pretty much that was like your origin story, right?
Yeah,
when did you start using Commander on the radio?
On the radio, when I got on to WESU, I used it.
Okay, so that was the first time. Hey, Trish.
That was in 2021.
Oh, okay. So that was when you came out of the closet with CmdrAleon.
Well, at workshops I went to before I was on the radio, I would say I'm CmdrAleon.
Okay.
But I never used it. The radio was where I used it. I came out of the closet when I was on the radio. Yeah, I just said I'm from Mars.
I think it's important for us to know the history and the genesis of Commander, right? I think it's fun.
No, yeah, so I'm glad you're asking me the question. When I was on radio, I said, the heck with this. I'm just going to say who I am. Coming out of the closet. I'm from Mars. I'm with the Asteroid Galactic Command. And I, at that point, didn't care what anybody thought anymore. And so by doing that, there were people that would write letters to the station that didn't like the show. They didn't like what I was doing. They wanted to get me thrown off the air.
Do you remember what some of those letters said?
Oh, there was one guy who sent the letter with a picture with a tinfoil hat on his head. I was like, but I have a good general manager, and there's no way they were going to kick me off the air for, expressing what.
Fabulous that they've had you on that long, Commander. I think you said 21 years you've been on.
21 years on the radio,
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I always tell people, even on here, I tell people, in the 60s, all these movements for women's liberation, gay rights, and all this stuff, lifestyle issues. Now it's time for the starseeds to come out and be who they are, for humans to say who they are, to be not afraid to be a starseed.
That was beautiful, Commander.
And that I really truly believe that. So my show is not just about, it's not a nuts and bolts UFO show. My show is about spiritual UFOs, areas from encounters. You've seen the guests on the show. We've had people that have been in contact with space people. We've had many guests who've shared their encounters with space people, either good or bad or indifferent. And my whole thing is, I want people not to be afraid anymore. So I'm spearheading a movement on the top UFO spiritual talk show on social media, to number one, say who you are, be the space person you are. Don't keep it inside of you. Don't let it eat you up, and you can't be who you are. Just like people who have a lifestyle movements that spoke out over the years in the 60s and 70s, and those became part of the common life on Earth. People know that there are people that prefer people of the same gender or whatever. There are people that are starseed that are from other planets that are living with their own biological family that have been keeping it in themselves and not saying who they are. So I want everybody out there watching the show, if you are a star person, if you are a star seed, say it loud and proud, and be proud of who you are.
Even
Because
if you're from the rabbit hole.
Even if you're from the rabbit hole. That goes for everybody. And so I'm really much, I'm more of a, I don't take any garbage. I want to bust the matrix, including getting people to say who they are. And as you watch my show, you're going to see the commander is who he is. I'm in command of my own spirit. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think. I love everybody, and I'm going to just bust the matrix every single day, wherever I am.
Yes, right on, Commander.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Encounters with CmdrAleon. The man from Mars has spoken.
That's
yes, I have.
But he's right, because we have to have just this breaking of the chains of society. And, like Grace and you were saying earlier with the CE5s, you're doing your CE5, and then somebody who leaves, maybe they're going to do their own CE5, and people in the chat are going to start doing their CE5s, and we're going to do the CE5 in Florida.
Yeah.
And we're going to start just spreading love, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable to that love.
Yeah.
And when we're walking around in the streets, we're just going to smile and be good to people. And that's it.
And within saying, how does it work? And that's a good question. How can you be from Mars and Earth? So let me express how I am from Mars and from Earth. So from Mars and off planet, I worked on the spaceship, a big ship, with the Astrogalactic Command. I was involved in intergalactic communications. Now, people say, how do space people intergalactically communicate? We used crystallized structures. It's beyond any technology on Earth. And we used telepathically, but intergalactic structures of crystals to use for communications. In terms of coming from Mars, I came from Mars here, but I also chose to be here in human form. I don't know if I chose my parents or I just ended up with the biological parents I had. My parents here, thank you, they don't exist anymore. When I say they don't exist, they passed on and moved on. So I don't have any parents here anymore. Coming from Mars, I chose to be here. Mars has a population of approximately right now 10 to 15 million inhabitants. NASA and all the space agencies, they know about Mars. They don't talk about what's really going on Mars, but there are intelligent people on Mars, spiritual people on Mars, and people on Mars do intergalactically travel. The vibrational frequency on Mars is way higher than on Earth, extremely high. Believe it or not, even though it's in the same solar system, the vibrational patterns are very different on Mars. So I know everything about Mars. I know about the inside of the planet, the surface of the planet.
And
I know.
Commander,
Yes.
They're using technology to project the image of what we see Mars as, correct?
Yes, they project an image for us, but in truth, the Martian planetary system, the atmosphere and everything, people on Mars breathe an oxygen level that's slightly different than Earth, but they are able to go on the surface, walk around on Mars, and there are portions of Mars now where there are structures that are not seen by the land rover or the NASA rover that exist on Mars. There are most people live within Mars.
Wait a second. Do we really think that the Land Rover is on Mars?
I'd have to meditate on that one. I do believe
let's ask the chat. I would really like to. Let's do a poll. We should do a poll.
Let me finish answering I got to finish answering that person's question within.
Oh,
about the
sorry. Go ahead.
Mars. So within, I came here from Mars. I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. And if you were to get an idea of me in the capacity of what I would look like, let me go back to that picture. I will show you. Let's see here if I have it. It will give you an idea of me when I made this a few years ago. I did it on purpose. And here, let's look at this picture here. And just look at this.
It looks like the cover to a comic book from the 70s. Ashtar Command,
But
Ashtar
if you look at it,
Command,
if you take,
CmdrAleon from the
but if
Ashtar
you,
Command.
so if you look at it, you see the pictures of all these other space people, and there I am right there. And I off planet, I did wear a spacesuit. I don't know if it's that color, but that's me. One day I decided to try to put the image of my head on a very positive looking thing with the spaceship. So there I am right
And you
there.
have like medals like the commander, like, you know.
Yes. Yep.
And your
So
wife next to you is the wife and your family probably, right?
I don't know. Do you hear music?
What?
Are you hearing music?
No, I'm not hearing any music,
Grace, do you
Commander.
hear any music?
She was on mute.
Okay, everyone be quiet for a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Is there any music? No, I don't hear it anymore.
Mm.
String, I just thought I heard some beautiful sound as I was speaking about it. It went away.
Oh, they've got the poll up. Do you think the rover is actually on Mars? Everybody hit the poll.
I'm going to go back to my other screen. Let's see here. Where am I now? I want to do that. On my hand screen. There we go. Yeah, back to that. There we go. Did it switch over? There we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah. But anyway, it's when I think about where I've come from and how I got here, it's been an interesting experience. I've done some meditations about being in the human body, human consciousness. It's been a trip to be on Earth and experience all the weird things on this planet. It's a real trip because this planet I found to be very dysfunctional. Um, when I say the word dysfunctional, in my understanding of the planet Earth, the billions of people that live on here, not everybody's dysfunctional, but there are people that are dysfunctional. Like, I don't understand. I never did understand why there are control systems here, why people have governments and politicians and all these crazy things that don't even exist on Mars. There's no even anything like that. It's like going into a polluted planet with all these different things that affect your consciousness, and it's then you have to weed out all this other stuff in order to be able to focus, center. Luckily, most of you in here, I believe, many of you are finding out that you can center yourself and you can amp up your energies to a higher frequency. I think that is, I think that's really important to understand as we go forward here. And when you see us talking about C5, when you think us talking about contact, it's pretty imminent. And when I say that, in the next 3 years, you're going to see things, and I keep getting this so hard in my consciousness, tell them, and I am, that we are going into a frequency shift in our bodies. We're all feeling it. Grace is feeling it. I know James is, all of you are, and if you're not feeling it, you will soon. The energies are just really amping up here. And how does that affect what's happening? It affects the reason why a lot of people are starting to have increased sightings, visitations with space people in their homes, whatever that home is. There's a lot of that going on, and I bet some of
Spiritual
you out here.
ascension.
Say again.
They're having spiritual ascension.
Yeah,
A
spiritual
lot of
ascension
growth,
within.
a lot of self-assurance, and
Yeah,
confidence
absolutely,
within our spirituality.
absolutely.
Not that I know
It-
anything about spirituality, because I'm not a light worker. I'm not spiritual. I'm
oh,
not.
don't tell me that.
I'm not any of that stuff. I'm very low
No,
vibe.
yeah, very low. He's a very low vibe guy. Yeah, if you believe that, I'll give you a carrot, a golden carrot.
Yep. No, you're not, James. You're good.
Yeah, you're no low vibe. You want to be that. Look, let me tell you something. If I throw you a carrot, you're eating ice cream.
No,
What is that?
this is
That's
I made.
rabbit,
I
James.
made this. This is. Oh, look at the rabbit.
Oh,
This
James,
is a coconut snack.
Oh,
well, that looks good. What is that?
I made like a low carb, like a cream thing, and I put bunch of coconut in it, and
I love
Really
Mhm.
interesting.
How do you make that, James? Do you make that with like a condensed cream milk?
Yeah, what do you do?
That's part of it. Yep.
And then you put what else? You gotta send me the recipe because
Mhm.
I love the coconut bars like that.
Oh, you can make
Look, it's like
you can make coconut
all the
bars.
coconut pieces.
Delicious. It
You
looks
can bring
delicious.
them into the CU5 event, Grace. A whole bunch of them.
Oh my God! I would.
You drive me nuts with that coconut bar thing.
I'm gonna turn it off.
I like chia pudding too. I make chia pudding as well.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I'm going to be bringing donuts. We have a place here that does designer donuts. So I'm going to be bringing the donuts from that place. It's called Devian Donuts.
And let me just say something. Speaking of donuts, the person that jumped in here, we good. You took him out. We had somebody saying Trump 24.
Lord, okay.
So we had to take him out there. This is not a place for politics. This is a place for galactic liberation.
We're trying to save the planet.
Yeah, we're not trying to get stuck in the planet the way it is right now. We're here to transform the planet and bust the matrix.
Hello from Southeast.
Now, I will say this though: any president that wants to come out with full disclosure will get my vote.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not jumping into any of that
any of
stuff.
them are going to do that.
No, I'm just going to stay away from Earth-based politicians. I just want to be the space person that I am and keep my integrity away from that.
Commander, you should start your own political party, the Ashtar Party.
Well, that'll be a different kind of party, not like a political party.
Yeah, we'll bust the whole matrix.
Well, I can do one of those, but that will be a galactic, intergalactic activity.
Yep, you'll have a representative. So your whole cabinet would be all intergalactic. It would be President Aleon.
Well, Stelly Stardust said, "Commander for President." How many people? I'm not running for office. How many people would like to see a space person running the world, running the United States government? Then I can take. If I got elected, I could dismantle every agency and get rid of the Pentagon, release all the stuff they have, locked up in the cabinets, and then say, "Everybody go home," and then there will be no more governments anymore. It will be a galactic, free flowing world.
You know how they have the Capitol in Washington. You know the Washington Monument. Next to it, we would just put a huge crystal, and the crystal would share the free energy to the world, and then we would pull out all of the technology and cure all of the ailments and stuff.
Right.
Oh man, Commander, we could
Lexicon says pledge allegiance to the Ashtar Command. That would be kind of a switch from pledge allegiance to whatever.
Yeah, this is President Aleon and Vice President Kadarmanka.
Please do not start a movement to get me elected to office. I have no need or want to be there.
Tomorrow morning on CNN.
Yeah.
Local news. Local TikTok sensation Commander Aleon throws his hat into the ring.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go?
Yeah, I gotta be somewhere at noon tomorrow. I want to make
Oh, you
certain.
you get some sleep. You need some
Yeah.
sleep.
I mean, I don't have to get up first thing, but thank God I have a little lad.
You got to rest a little bit. Yeah, well, we're going to let you go. We thank you for being up here from your spaceship.
Welcome.
And
Yeah, for my the egg.
the egg ship.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Good night.
All right, Grace. Take care.
Sleep well, everybody. See you soon.
All right, Grace. Thank you for coming on.
All right, thanks, Commander.
So, and
Hey,
Grace is
Commander,
there. Yeah, yeah.
did you see the newer not new, but it's a Disney movie, a Chicken Little, and there's a UFO storyline in that movie. And so I'm not too familiar if you're familiar with the story of Chicken Little, but he used to say, "Oh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling," right? And
Yeah.
in the movie, the sky was a UFO,
Really?
and a piece of the paneling that was cloaking the UFO fell off.
Yeah.
And he was like, the sky really is falling. But the whole concept was that, right above everybody, not
It was a
even
UFO.
that they can see with their eyes, was
Yeah.
this translucent cloaked UFO.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that.
I think, those movies, they got a little bit of truth in them, even though they're cartoons. So
Yeah, cartoons, even like the Weekly World News. I remember when I was younger, they would have UFO stories in them. You would think, oh, they can't be real. But sometimes the real stories were put in those papers on purpose so people would think they weren't real.
hey, before we end the show, we have to make an announcement. I'm going to make an announcement.
And before you do that, we're at 69.6. Come on, folks. We need to hit 100,000. We need to get to 100,000.
Saturday night, we are going to have a live on my TikTok to celebrate one of our favorite moderators, the one and only transcending Grammy, Miss Julie. And we are going to have DJs and music, and we're going to have a birthday live party for her on Saturday.
Oh, good.
So you better come check us out, everybody.
What time is that going to be? Do you know?
It's going to start at 11:30 on Saturday night. And we're going to take it as late as we can. We're going to try to get some DJs from across the world in there.
Yep, there you go. You heard it first from James. Definitely, for sure. And we're at 70,000 we're at 71. Come on, folks. We can do I want to get to go to sleep at 1:30 Eastern. Can we get to 100,000 right now? Come on. If everybody taps, I know that everybody's not
to sing a song.
No, I'm not going to sing. I'm going to wake people up in the house here.
I can sing a song then.
You can say James will sing a galactic song if you get us up to 100,000. But you have to do that first, and then he'll sing the song. 100,000 and for a song.
No, I'll sing to just start. In fact, you know what? I've got my computer in front of me right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna load up one of my all-time
favorites. You're watching Encounters, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Please do some gifting. I thank all the people that have gifted the show. You can use your TikTok coins. I do have we have actually received 2 of 8 hats. So we need 6 more hats. 6 more hats donated to the commander. So we have 6 hats available. You know what the hats look like? They're black and purple. So if you have enough TikTok coins to do it, send me a hat. Disco Love. We love that, TK. TK loves the Disco Love. Thank you for the gift as we're winding down the show tonight. We're at 74,000.
And if anybody has any UFO videos,
yeah,
don't forget to send them our way,
so that we can actually review them. And if they're really good, we'll put them on Ashtar Spaceship News right here on TikTok. Oh, Mikey.
Oh,
Transcending,
Mike.
thank you.
Who's
Transcending,
Mikey?
thank you. I think she's saying, oh, Mikey. Milky? Mikey? I think Mikey. I have to go. It's time for dinner. Hey, Cosmic White Witch. Take care. Many blessings.
Who's Mikey?
I think she's talking about Mikey, that's the space thing with hey Mikey, you're so fun. Oh yeah, Mickey.
Oh, are they doing song requests? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
And I'm bringing up before we go. I'm bringing up April to say hello if she's still awake.
okay.
She's coming for a minute. We'll bring her in. And
Can I sing to her too?
You can do that. So tonight's show has been interesting because we are talking about the C5 events, and we're gonna have some beautiful things happening, and so we're just very, very excited. We're gonna record everything, folks. The C5 event on the 13th, we have something definitely that we have no idea what's going to happen, but we've talked about it, and I definitely feel something's happening on the 20th. So we're going to record everything that happens. You're going to see it live on TikTok, and you're going to see real things. No CGI, no fake videos, no AI. Everything we're doing is going to be very real. So get ready. And we're at 77,000.
All right, I'm going to do the Ashtar Command love song.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hold on. It's got all, they got the ad music and all that. All right, here we go. This is for all of the star seeds.
Yeah.
And star-crossed lovers out there. We've come from a far, far place. We come in our spaceship, and we've come to show you love, baby. So come on down. The Ashtar Command welcomes you. We welcome you with love and open arms. So, baby, if you're ready, with the CmdrAleon, we are here. Oh, yeah. We
Encounters.
got the Ashtar Command. We're going to take you up in our spaceship, baby. With CmdrAleon. Going up in spaceship, baby. And I don't know why I wasn't invited. Ooh, yeah. Maybe, oh, maybe it's 'cause I'm in the rabbit hole. There's your song for your 100,000 likes, Commander.
Yeah, I'm at 79 too. Come on, folks. You just sang a song. And we have 177 people here. And we can't even get to 100,000 likes. That's crazy.
Don't give the guest, gift the host.
Listen to the rabbit hole. He says, gift the host.
Don't gift the guest, gift the host. You don't want Commander getting mad at me for taking all his gifts.
I can't believe it, James. You took all the gift.
Commander calls me up after the live. He's like, you better make sure you send those gifts back. No, I'm joking.
We're going to have to talk to the producers of the show here. No, I'm just kidding. We're at 81,000. We're so close. You really want me to stay up all night, folks, don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you need some of that Ashtar Command love? Just do a CE5.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Scott says yes.
Meditate.
We want to stay up all night. But we're getting close. We're at 82,000. It's a beautiful thing. And we love, this is when we love just lightening up towards the end of the show. But so many beautiful things are coming our way, folks. Do you understand the enormous responsibilities that we all have, every one of us? When we talk about going on the ship, which we've talked about it, April, and a few of us have. When we talk about going on the ship, we're going to come back with things that are going to help the planet, and that's the most important thing. That's what's so beautiful about this energy, that it's time. Like we didn't plan any of this. None of us knew each other. You know, all this stuff is just organically happening. You know, it really is. And everybody,
Absolutely.
and when people say they want to go on the ship, this is the information I can share with people as we get close to ending the show for the night.
Ryan Reynolds here. Big wireless.
When we think about getting ready to go, everybody eventually are going to meet your star family. You have a biological family that's off planet that will meet you at some point between the next 3 years, because it's going to happen, and it will happen. And the beauty of it is that everybody is not being left out of anything. And I want people to realize how much you're loved. Do you realize how much you're loved by your star families? I don't know all your star families. I have no idea who they are. But when you meet them, and when they want to get together with you, when they're going to get together with you, you'll have the invitation to go. They're the ones who, what's the word for it? They're the ones who create the situation. They're the ones who facilitate is the word. They facilitate the contact. We don't do anything. We're the ones that they're coming to communicate with, our biological cosmic family. When that happens, it will happen for every single person here. I guarantee you. You just have to believe in yourself. You say, why not me? Don't feel that way if you do. Don't feel jealousy or anything. Everybody here will have contact when it's time. And when I talk about what we're doing with April and a few other people, when we do go on the ship, we're going to go live before we go on the ship and record what we can, because the cell phones will not work on the spaceship at all. But that's just the way it is. But we will come back.
Maybe they can.
What? Maybe they can?
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't think they will, but I don't know if they do. I'll be very amazed.
I think we're underestimating
maybe
the consciousness and the 3D and the 4D and the 5D.
But could be.
I don't think that your cell phone's gonna work.
I don't think so either. But we will be able, that's outside the ship. We've been told that we'll be able to record the ship from the outside of the craft. When we go in the ship, we'll have no ability to record.
And listen, we're also going to get to see the gift from your father.
Yes. The one thing is, when I get the gift from my father, I've been very much downloaded not to let anybody touch it. No one will be able to touch it. I'll be able to show it to you, but no one's going to be able to touch it. I just have to be protective of that.
Are you going to get a case for it for your house? Like one of those, like not a glass case, but they have those plastic type display cases.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know how big the thing is. I don't know if it's just a hand-sized thing, but whenever it is, I'm going to keep it safe. I have to.
Kit Kat said, put it in the vault.
Yeah. It'll be in our meditation room that we're switching rooms around here. It will be there. But I'm not going to let anybody touch it. I can't do that. I'm not supposed to. I keep getting that. It's something, I believe it's a technology from, that's gifted to me from my space father. And I don't know how to use it or what it is. I think I'm going to learn. When I get it, I think it's going to be activated.
I was going to say, it might be something where you touch it or you see it and you'll already know. You know what I
maybe.
mean?
That could be possible.
That memory will trigger, because when when we have our dreams, or when we're in our lucid dreaming or meditation state and we go onto those spaceships, it's like we've already been there, right?
Yeah.
So you might just touch it and be ready to rock and roll.
But I will tell you this: when I do get it, will actually present it and try to show it on here. I don't know if it's going to affect my my technology or not. I have no idea, but I will.
It shouldn't.
Yeah,
Not in a
we'll
bad
see.
way.
No, in a good way. But I'm just saying, like, will it affect the? I don't know what. I just can't. I just don't know anything.
Just hold it up next to an ATM, and if money just starts flying out.
Yeah. If the money flies out, I'll take the money. I'll definitely do that. We're at 94,000.9. We're almost there at 100,000.
I was going to say, you're almost there, Commander. Hold on tight.
I am hanging in there. I'm hanging in there, folks. I know people want me to stay on all night, but I can't do it. No, I'm just kidding you. There were days, though, when I would do something like that. I used to be on the radio in Vermont. When I was in Vermont, I did an all-night radio show with albums with another DJ on the campus. And I said, let's do an all-nighter. And I fell off the seat with a Moody Blues album on with a hard floor. And I was like, good thing the mic wasn't on. I was cursing up and down for about 2 minutes.
I'm just picturing you working at the reggae station. Hey everybody, this is DJ Aleon.
We were doing Moody Blues. This is when I was in Vermont.
This is DJ Aleon. Some of you might know me as Commander, and everything's going to be Ari. We're going to play some Bob Marley.
No, but those days in Vermont, it was like one big commune, the campus. It was just a beautiful place, and the station's still there. It's a great radio station. I played Moody Blues. We played a whole album side, and then I fell off the chair and dozed off.
Commander didn't know it at the time, but he was working with, at the time, this unknown guy. His name was Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, he probably was a student at some point at Goddard, where I went to school. Yep. One big...
Commander, I'm going to get off. You have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, you too, James. You take care. It's time to go, man. It's almost 100,000, or 97.7.
977 is a good number.
Yeah, I'll take it. I want to thank everybody. We could still do 100,000. We're that close. James, have a good night. Thanks, James, for everybody being here. Thanks for all the gifts. Trisha Hours, good to see you. Everybody out there, Grand Rising. And we're going to do interviews tomorrow night. We'll have back to normal interviews. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. We got into some really good information about the C5 events here in the United States and Connecticut. So we have a really solid group of people here. And remember the Dragon's Egg. You can look it up on the internet. That's the big event on the 20th. Our event on the 13th, we are told, will be a very interesting event. April is coming from Vermont. Anya, when is Ashtar coming? I can't tell you that. I don't know if Ashtar is coming himself, but the Ashtar command is everywhere. So I can tell you that. When I'm more awake tomorrow night, I'll get into that a little bit if you have a question. And we're almost at 100,000 here at 99.4. We're at 5. Let's try to hit 100,000. Almost there. A few more people tap, we'll get there really quick. Almost. Hey, 100,000. Thank you, folks. Now I can go and sign off my show here. Thank you for the roses. Anya Dia, thank you for the roses. We're going to let you finish with all the roses before we sign off. Any other gifts that want to be given before I go to sleep, please do. Wow. I'll let you finish up with all that. CCM, thank you for the one rose, 26 for the other one. All right, folks, take care. We'll be more energized tomorrow night around 11 o'clock p.m. So catch you later. This has been Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, and I got more gifts coming to me, so I'm going to hold off for a minute. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. We love you all. You everybody take care. Oh, I got a hat. Oh boy, okay. Thank you so much for the hat. Thank you. Thank you for the roses. Okay, now we're going to try to sign off, I think. Unless any other weird things happen here. Here we go.